Hi, this is Zach May with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Monday, the 22nd of September. Something about the FTSE 100, which is still trying to negotiate the floor of that rising trend channel from back in June. The level there nominally at 9,200, the low 91, 94 today, but that kind of thing. If there is a rug pull and we fail at the floor of the channel, then it's down to the 50-day line, 91.57. But we're not expecting anything much lower than that, given that we haven't been below the 50-day line since back in the beginning of May. In terms of the upside, with a second possible RSI 50 rebound, in fact, this one's slightly above RSI 50, looking for the record highs 93.57 over coming days, and then by the end of next month, as high as 9,500 at the top of the channel. In fact, 95.20 or even 30 possible by the end of the next month. But obviously, in the meantime, we need to hold RSI 50 and the floor of that channel. Moving on to the DAX, and here it's been a bit of a dead market in the recent past, and even more dead to start this week. Just trading either side of the nominal floor of that channel there from April, so around 23,600. We could roll over as a worst case scenario down to the 200 day line there at 22,750. But at the moment, it just looks as though we're hanging around in the low 23,000s at worst. The trigger for a potential move to the upside would be an end of day close above the 50-day line, but that's falling just below 24,000 and the falling 50-day line. In the current environment, with the RSI failing consistently below the neutral 50 level, does not look like a feature which is going to be broken anytime soon. But still, at least in theory, while we're above the mid 23,000s, up to as high as 25,700 by the end of next month, but a long way to go on that at the moment. Moving on to the Dow, which obviously I looked at yesterday, and here we can see that we've had these multiple RSI 50 rebounds. In fact, RSI 55 rebounds, which I suppose has to be regarded as stronger. Still looking for 47,700 by the end of next month, while we're on the right side of 45,000. Worst case at the moment is the 50-day line at 44,950. But as you can see in the recent past, we found support above that level. Moving on to the cryptos and hoping that there'll be a breakthrough. At the moment, the breakthrough, unfortunately, onto the downside rather than the upside for Bitcoin. After several days of trying to find support above that 50-day moving average, we've actually broken down below it and rapidly approaching the floor of the channel there from the beginning of March at 111,000. Below that risks a move down to 107, which was the recent support at the turn of the month. This stage, only a quick end of day close back above the 50-day line at 114,000, really delaying the prospect of a move down to sub 110. And the other thing you can see is that the RSI is pushed below the neutral 50 level as well at 44. So this not looking very good at the moment. On to Ethereum, which has also had its struggles in the recent past. And here you can see that any idea now of 5,500 by the end of next month, which is what we were looking for while we were above the 50-day line there at 43.77, seems to have gone. We've got initial support there just towards 40.50, but after that, can't rule out 39.30, the old July support there. And once again, the RSI 50 level unceremoniously lost overnight. Moving on to gold, and here the picture's been one of steady progress above 3,600, and looks like a mid-move consolidation here, extended bull flag. Looking for up to 38.50 by the end of next month at the top of that rising trend channel from back in April. Moving on to the stocks, and quite a few from yesterday, which is a good thing in the sense that many of the stocks that were called yesterday seem to have had a little nudge to the upside, which is very often the case. First one is Amazing AI, which found support above the 50-day line there at currently 1.13, and of late around 1.4, RSI 50 plus rebound there as well. So we are looking for the long promised test of the top of that gap there around 2.7 pence by the end of next month or even sooner, while we're above the 50-day moving average. B90 had a great update today, and actually nice to see an RNS to go with the company rather than just knowing a share price and a name. Here we've gapped through recent resistance and above 3.75 pence, looking for up to 5.25 pence by the end of next month or even sooner. And obviously we've had two unfilled gaps to the upside as well as an extended RSI 50 rebound, which I think I've noted previously in the recent past. On to Blencowe, which is also delivering the goods. We've hit the first target there at well, it's actually the second target there at 6.2 pence. Above that, on an end of day close basis, looking for 8 pence by the end of next month, or hopefully even sooner. You can see the shares bouncing off the uptrend line in the RSI window and bouncing well above the rising 50-day line, which tends to be leading indicator on the upside, as is that U-shaped turnaround that we've seen. Bison, a company which I think is a winner on both the fundamentals and the technicals these days. Rising trend channel there from back in June last year, top of the channel there, heading for 94 pence, and we're looking at that by the end of next month, while we remain above the old 73 pence resistance from back in July. 50 and 200-day lines both rising well as well, so helping the cause. On to Cadence, which is certainly in recovery and re-rate mode. Here we've had a decent start to the week. We just need to see an end of day close through the second target there, 3.9 pence, to give us a target as high as 6 pence by the end of next month. We're expecting the shares now to stay at the right side of 3 pence, whatever happens after quite a big RSI 50 plus rebound in the oscillator window. Moving on to defense, which I believe is having some kind of an announcement today. But here you can see we've got that wide rising trend channel there and above 2 pence, looking for as high as 3.5 pence by the end of next month. We've got an uptrend line in the RSI window, and you can see that we've hit the third or fourth target there at 2 pence, and we'd like to stay above that for a move up to 3.5 pence by the end of October. On to Empire Metals, where it seems to have shaken off the alleged Lassonde curve issue. Here we were already looking for the shares to get back up to the top of the channel there, the lilac line at 74 pence. Probably by the end of next month was the expectation. Looks like it might get a little bit earlier than that, but above 49 pence, the support on the way up, looking for 74 pence over the near term. Interestingly, even though we bounced nearly doubled off the recent low, the RSI still only at 58, so plenty of gas in the tank for further moves to the upside on Empire Metals. Moving on to a stock which I don't normally cover, largely because it tends to disappoint and not quite do what you want it to do. But here we've got Genel here, and here an RSI 50 rebound, a bounce above the rising 50-day line. So just looking for a proper end of day close through 70 pence could take us up to 92 pence by the end of next month, although difficult to work out exactly what might do that, given the way that the oil price is rather flat these days. But at least while we're above that 50-day line at 63, feeling confident on the upside. Back to Greatland Gold, which seems to be in revival mode. We've had a second unfilled gap to the upside now. We gapped down back in July and have had two gaps up, so that's a bear trap, a double bear trap island reversal, if you see what I mean. And looking for the shares to hit as high as 414 pence by the end of next month. Triple RSI 50 plus rebounds there, so looking very strong over and above the way that the 50-day line is now rising, and those gaps are probably looking as bad as good as it could do at this point in the cycle. Moving on to a requested stock, which I think I did cover yesterday, but obviously we've got it again. Here we above the 0.8 pence level. We were looking for 1.1 pence. We're looking for that by the end of next month, but the way things are going, might even get that by the end of this month and then be forced to look for a fresh target here. Just how high that might be is suggested by the line I'm just about to draw at the moment, so that could be towards the 1.75 pence level. Early days yet, but maybe that's a target for the end of this year if we can get through 1.1 pence relatively quickly. Ideally now we stay on the right side of 0.9 pence, whatever happens. Moving on to Mast, where the call was that the shares could go all the way back up, and they're doing their best to prove that theory right. We're back above the old support on the way up, and this does actually look rather like the Empire metals chart. We're above the old support on the way up, 133. Above that, looking for the shares to at least get back to the 170s by the end of next month, even if that is the best that they do. But I have to say, secretly thinking that this will go all the way up again, given the cork and water rebound that we've had for the stock, and also the false flag on the downside that warning our RNS was about articles in the recent past. RSI once again only at modest levels, only at 56, and that is amazing given that we've more than doubled off the lows as well. So plenty of gas, technical gas in the tank there on that one. Onto a stock where we have had a decent bounce there on Mendell Helium. Looks like actually this could be, a little birdie told me, this could be one of the best helium plays actually, despite all the bluster from the other ones. Here we've got, because it's largely because it's actually producing helium. Here we've had a bull flag breakout above a rising 50-day line, RSI 50 plus rebound as well, and above recent broken resistance and the 200-day line at 2.56 pence. Looking for as high as 6 pence by the end of next month. So pretty interesting situation there on that, especially given that it's on Aquis. Moving along to a stock where we don't often see a parabolic ascent for a share, but this is one that fits the bill. Pan-African there, heading for the top of that rising trend channel at 115 pence, hopefully by the end of next month, while we're above recent broken resistance around 85 pence. Probably could allow down to 80 pence, but ideally we stay above 85 on an end of day close basis, ahead of £1.15. On to the last two. The first one is Roadside, where I see there are a few murmurings on Twitter. We've got an initial target here up to 63 pence, which hopefully we'll get by the end of this month. Best case would be up to the upper parallel of that rising trend channel, as high as 83 pence by the end of next month. Ideally, we stay above the latest gap there around 54 pence on an end of day close basis. Whatever happens, if you're more conservative, then it would be the 50-day line at 51 pence as a trailing stop loss. Finishing off with Thor Explorations, and here after gapping down earlier in the month, we've gapped up. We've also had three RSI 50 plus rebounds, so we're looking for the top of that channel there at 80 pence by the end of next month, while we remain above the floor of the channel there at 55 pence. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.